Can Ukraine become the first country to qualify for the knockout round? That is the big question facing Euro 2012 today as Ukraine faces France. Jonathan Clegg is joining me on the line now from Kiev. Hi, Jonathan. Does Ukraine really have a serious chance of beating France later today?
Well, a few days ago, I would have said no. I think before the tournament, Ukraine was sort of widely viewed as the worst of the 16 teams here. Despite the fact that it's playing the tournament on home soil, it beat Sweden in its opening game here, roared on by a hugely passionate crowd here in Kiev. And its game tonight against France in Donetsk, in the east of the country, will doubtless be equally well attended. So, there's a chance that home support could sort of push Ukraine into the knockout round. It would be the first team, as you mentioned.
Never doubt the underdog, huh, Jonathan?
Yeah, that's right.
What about the other big game today? Of course, that's England-Sweden, which is really attracting a great deal of attention.
Yeah, that's right. That's the sort of the big game tonight, I suppose, in Group D for most people. And this will be a fascinating game. Sweden really has to win the game in order to retain much chance of going through to the knockout rounds. It lost to Ukraine in its opener, as I mentioned earlier. And for England, again, this is a pretty much a do or die game. England faces Ukraine in its final group game, which could be a tricky game. So it will really need to get off to to record its first win here in a game that really it should win. England will enter the game as the favourite. It's a different situation to what happened in this first game against France, when England was sort of perceived as the underdog. Here it will be the favourite. The onus will be on England to go forward and attack, and that will require a sort of change in tactics from the very defensive, sort of almost negative game plan that England employed in its opening game.
But Jonathan, I gather that they're going to face a lot of Swedish fans. Apparently, I mean, they seem to be outnumbering the English ones over there.
Yeah, very strange situation, because traditionally England is one of the best supported teams in major soccer tournaments. England fans travel en masse to tournaments all over the world, but here in Kiev, certainly for the past few days, there's been it's been notable how many more Sweden fans there are.
Jonathan, do you think that could actually have an impact on the outcome of the game, and England could lose as a result?
Well, I mean, I think I don't know how much of an impact it will have, purely because the Olympic Stadium here is enormous. So I don't know that either team's fans will necessarily.
And probably the English fans, knowing them, will be louder and noisier.
More Ukraine fans than anyone else, to be honest. So quite who they get behind, we'll have to see.
Okay, and who does the winner of this game then meet?
Well, yeah, that's something else that makes this game so important, I suppose, is that the runner-up from this group, whichever team finishes second, advances to the knockout round, where it's likely to face Spain, who thrashed the Republic of Ireland yesterday and really looked at a pretty frightening proposition for the rest of the 15 teams here. England, Sweden, Ukraine, France, all of them will be desperate to get the first place in this group and avoid a meeting with Spain.
I mean, I assume that's because Spain is still very much favourite to win.
Absolutely. Spain, the defending champion, the World Cup champion as well. It looked formidable yesterday. Although, much of that, it must be said, can probably be attributed to how poor this Irish team is, which... in 2 games so far, it's surrendered 7 goals. It's only scored 1. I think there's an argument to be made that it might be the worst team ever to appear at a European Championship.
Even worse at the start than Ukraine was. And now I gather Ireland's
heading... Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's Irish.
And now I gather Ireland's headed home. It's all done.
That's it. Yeah, it became the first team to be eliminated from the tournament. I mean, it sort of speaks to the sort of level of parity in European soccer that midway through the group stage of this tournament, no team has yet advanced to the knockout round, and only one has been eliminated. 14 teams,
close race.
15 teams still have it all to play for. So,
close race, Jonathan. Briefly, what's happening at the weekend?
Yeah, Saturday marks the first round of the sort of do or die matches. That's the final round of group games, and that will decide which two teams from that group, Russia, Czech Republic, Poland, and Greece, advance to the knockout round. Sunday, it's Group B, the group of death. Portugal faces the Netherlands. Only one of those teams will be going through, and Germany faces Denmark. So it will be, we'll finally get a clearer idea of which teams are going to be in the knockout round and how the tournament shapes up going forward.
Another busy weekend with Euro 2012. Jonathan, thank you very much indeed.